What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down what's happening to the overall market, what you should be watching for as time progresses, some big data that just came out that's very important, and how the market is responding to what Jerome Powell said. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I'm personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed 1 free stocks. If you put in $100, you're guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. The offer ends very soon, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So yesterday, looking at SPY, we had this slight bearish divergence, but this bearish divergence is being invalidated right now as SPY just continued to rip up even higher into extremely overbought territory. I'm sure a lot of people are not expecting it to become this overbought with an RSI of 83, but it's still going. So we have to assume it's just going to continue higher. So looking at the market's on fire. It's continuing to pump, and SPY is getting very close to this 428.78 area. That's the 4-hour 200 EMA. That's continuing to push higher and higher and higher. So I'm going to be watching the 4-hour 200 EMA very carefully to see how this reacts to it. And we're going to break down some other important pieces of data. Now, initial jobless claims just came out a couple of minutes ago, and you can see it's at 217,000, aligning with the forecast. And all the data has been decent so far. Now, yesterday, Jerome Powell announced that the Fed was not going to raise rates during the FOMC meeting. And he said that the Fed may continue to do what they have to do. Now, some people interpreted what he said as hawkish, but overall, I didn't really see it that way. Some things he said were kind of hawkish, as in the Fed has to do what's necessary and they're open to another possible rate hike. But at the same time, Powell said that they didn't really have any plans to raise rates just yet. So, the market interpreted that differently from how other people saw it. And, the market is just continuing to rip. So it is what it is. For earnings, I just wanted to call out that we had Shopify this morning, which beat on earnings, is continuing to climb. And then after the market closes, we have Aapl. Aapl is going to be a big one. We will see if this launches the market up or not. Now, so far, November is off to a very, very good start, and we're continuing to see the market holding up. The Federal Reserve, once again, held rates as they did before. They haven't made any decisions for December, but they're still going to work to get inflation down to 2%. If they're done raising rates, the market, it's so far liking this, and the market's becoming more optimistic as time goes on. There's also news that came out that Starbucks customers are spending more when they go to chain cafes, and we're seeing a 3% increase in customer traffic to its cafes. So very interesting stuff. And with that said, the IRS will let retirement savers put more money away in 2024 because of new things that were going on. And that's pretty much it for the news for now. I just wanted to add that when it comes to stocks making big news, and big moves, we have Shopify, Roku, and just a couple of others. Shopify was a big one that was up. But anyways, let's break down the market. How are things looking? SPY is super overbought. I mean, the RSI is already that's 70 plus on the 4-hour time frame. But on the daily, the daily was looking bullish. The thing is, we got above our 200 EMA like it was nothing, so it's pretty insane. But we are a little overbought. So we're going to be watching some other important levels. So looking at SPYs continuing to hold up. If we break 427, watch 427.5. If we get above that, I think we might just test 429, which is very close to the 200 EMA on the 30 minutes time frame. I'm sorry, the 4-hour time frame. So it could just keep going higher, but just know that it's really overbought, and that's when it's going to become risky. Now, if it cools off, watch support at 426.5. If we lose that, watch 426 right here, 425.5, and we have 425. If we end up losing that, watch even more support around this 424 area and 423.5. It's still ripping up, guys, so it could just keep going. We'll be watching 427.5 after that, and if it keeps going, I would not rule out the possibility of 429. It's still looking bullish. It's still continuing to climb up. It's just that it's kind of risky because of how overbought it's been on the smaller time frames. So just be very careful. As of right now, it's continuing to push. So we'll see how resistance holds it back. As for Tesla stock, I just wanted to call out that Tesla is also looking bullish. Tesla's up like 8 points right now. It's at 213, filling these imbalances. I was talking about this thing going up to 212, possibly, and then maybe rejecting. Instead, it's just broke past it like it was nothing. So pretty crazy stuff. At this point, you're going to be watching Tesla try to test 215. If it breaks that, watch 216.8. Then we have, potentially even like 220 coming. If it rejects, you're going to be watching it come down to 212, 210, 208, and then 205. I just want to call out that when you look at the 30 minutes time frame, we are still very overbought on Tesla. Still very overbought. I would be very careful with it. It is due to cool off on the RSI soon, but as of right now, at the time I'm recording this, it's continuing to climb. So I wouldn't make that call just yet. It's just continuing to go. So we're going to be watching these resistance levels and see where Tesla ends up rejecting. And we're just going to be very patient because sometimes when you have this much euphoria, even if the market pulls back a little bit, a bunch of buyers just step in instantly and they start pushing it higher. So we're going to be watching this very carefully. For Apple stock, Apple's up like crazy right now, but don't forget Apple has earnings, and whatever happens with Apple's earnings will affect the whole market. Apple's at 176.7. If it keeps going, you're going to be watching this resistance right here. I have this zone, which I didn't get to extend, towards 178, 177.5, and 178 are two levels to watch for. For support, watch 176.5, 175.5, and 174.5, followed by 173.5. Right now, Apple's continuing to climb. It's still looking very strong, getting bought up like crazy, and it's crazy overbought. If you actually look at it, it's very, very overbought. If you look at the daily is still about to get a bullish cross on the PPO. So it's continuing to go up higher. It's pretty crazy to witness. So we're going to be watching to see how Apple continues to move, but watch resistance very, very carefully. When it comes to Nvda, this is also continuing to climb. This thing is already at 434. So I gave two possibilities: to pull back one of the drop in bounds, or just, if it keeps going up. So we're going to be watching at this point 435 and then 438 as resistance. If we break that, watch for 440. It is still looking strong. So we're currently at 434. We could go a little higher to 438. So watch it very carefully up there. If you reject on 435 or even 438, watch support very carefully at 430. If we lose that, 428 and 425 are two other levels. As of right now, it looks strong. So watch it very, very carefully. And then finally, for the QQQ, I just wanted to call out that the QQQ is not looking too bad. Continuing to climb, it's actually exploding thanks to Aapl. We're going to be watching this level over here, this historical resistance at 364. If we manage to hold above 362, that's going to be the next critical resistance. We are very overbought, however, just like SPY, so just be very careful with it. And just know that these are some important levels. Watch 362 as support. If we lose this, you're going to be watching this gap down here at 36. We have 360 and 358 below that. And if we lose this, 355 is coming. Right now, we're pushing up higher. We'll see if we could hold 362. If they keep pushing it, it could get very close to 364. But just know it's risky because of how overbought the triple Q is. SPY is on fire, so we'll have to wait and see, guys. The market is just continuing to soar. So please remain calm, cool, and collected. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Even though the market is pumping like this, be very patient and be careful with your entries because sometimes, it could be tricky. Sometimes the market is too overbought and buyers will just keep pushing it up, but then you never know when, something different could happen. But just look for more upside when we open and we'll see where the market slows down. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a good one. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and peace out.